I got the horse run.
Hello racing fans, and welcome to the final edition of Handicappers Corner for the Hastings Thoroughbred season here at the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forrester. We're going to go through the Sunday closing day, October 25th card. 9 races on tap, kicking off at 1:50.
Yeah, it's been a great meet. It's a very successful meet here at Hastings. By all accounts, numbers are up. Attendance has been great this year. We've been blessed by a lot of sunny weather. And it all comes to a close here on Sunday. We are going to do, next week, we will do a rundown for the Breeders' Cup. That'll be our final show of the year. But of course, this is our final show for the Hastings meet. 9 races on tap, as Mike mentioned. First one, $12,500 claimers for older colts and geldings. Going to mile 16th. I went to the 3 here, Proxy Man. He just won for 8, so he's taking a jump up, but he won by 5, and I just don't see anybody that's going to go with him. He looks like he's the only speed. He's proven he can go long.
Right.
I just don't see anybody to go with him. He's my horse in here. I think he's good right now. I got Proxy Man on top of Mark. We had a good second behind Irish Romeo last time, finishing ahead of Bear Rock and Roll for the $16,000 price tag. Richard Hamill takes over riding duties for him. He had a second on him, 2 back behind Go for Guinness. And I put Franzer's Finest in the 3rd spot. He's in good form right now. Just getting beat a half length by What Goes Around last time in the final leg of the Endurance Series.
Marathon horses.
I went 3, 1, and 2.
Yeah, I flipped things around a little. I went to the 2 Franzer's Finest. I think he gets a brilliant trip just in behind Proxy Man and Distillery. Distillery does have some speed. I don't think he's going to go after Proxy Man, but I just think when things they straighten out on the backstretch, they could be close. There won't be a big break, and I just think the fractions will be honest enough to help Franzer's Finest. He got too far back. He got way too far back. He was the best horse in that race last time. He just got too far back. Rallied up the inside, couldn't quite get to What Goes Around, but for my money, he was the best horse, and I'm going to try him in this 12-5 come up pretty light, so I'll try him to win it over Proxy Man, who, as you mentioned, looked good winning last time. And I put the 1 horse, Mark, who always runs into the placings. He's not the most reliable horse. He did run second last time, but he had every opportunity to win. There was a wild pace duel in that race, but he just kind of got in there for second, well behind Irish Romeo. But I went 2-3-1. On the second race, got some $4,000 non-winners, non-1, 2, 3 of the meet. This is an odd race where you haven't finished first, second, or third during the entire 2015 meet, but you had to have started 3 times at the meeting, and it was, anytime you get good, you get a bunch of zeros on their forms, so it's really tough to try and find.
Not exactly a stakes race.
You have to be quite, you got to try and.
You got to get creative here.
Very creative. I went to the 3 Contact Man. I'm going to try him to defeat Swiss Arrogant. Contact Man, I know he did run poorly last time, but his race 2 back I thought was pretty good against At the Ritz and Carson City Brown and Matty the Bull. I thought that was a very encouraging race. I liked him the last time he ran, but obviously something went off the rails. He's come back to work well. He's been freshened up a bit. He was pretty good last fall. I don't know. I'll try him to win a very formless second race. I put the 6 Swiss Arrogant in for second.
Say that 3 times.
Yeah, no, Swiss Arrogant. The 6 Swiss Arrogant should get the lead. His race to win or lose, but still he's been caving in the last 1/8 of a mile. And I put the 7 horse Princess Zeta, one of 3 mares in here. I know she's not in good form either, but blinkers are scheduled to come off, and I put her in for 3rd. But Contact Man for me, I guess, in a race where you have to be, as you mentioned, very creative. 3, 6, 7.
I went to Swiss Arrogant. I just don't see a lot of speed in here. I know he's been caving.
McQuenna's going to go, or the Kula Kid's fast.
The Kula Kid's fast, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Swiss Arrogant's faster, but
got speed to his inside with the Kula Kid. But I did go with Swiss Arrogant. Pedro Alvarado climbs back aboard for trainer Dave Milburn. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of race. You know it's getting near the end when you see these soldiers in against each other. I
went with Swiss Arrogant on the connections. I put Contact Man in the 2nd spot, your top horse. Pat Jarvis finishing out the meet very well. And Boots Gray for Rob Maben. Sahin Ceviche rides. I got him in the 3rd spot. 6, 3, 4 in a muddled race.
Very muddled.
On the 3rd, this is a $4,000 claimant event for 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs. I went to the 1 After Court. He's in good form right now. Got beat 2 back by a very good horse in Fleming's Beach, who came back to run well. Last time, he was the best in the race. I don't see anybody dropping in here that looks overly tough. After Court's race to win, I believe. I put him on top of Briarda County, who, despite just the 1 win this year, has had a very solid year. 7 starts, 6 of them in the money with 1 win in 4 seconds, 1/3. Richard Hamill sticks with him. I put him in the 2nd spot. And I put Halo's Quest in the 3rd spot. He won the Non-Wars of the Year 2-back. Then he jumped up and ran against Proxy Man, his stablemate Teddy the Bear, in the last one. Did pretty good to run 3rd in there, so I put him in the 3rd spot. I went 1, 4, and 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I got Briardy County on top, though. I did like After Court last time. He was the last time horse. He got a perfect trip in behind a very hot pace. Briardy County had a brutal trip. Was 3 and 4 wide the entire journey and still battled on. I like the way the horse battled on and ran 3rd. There was someone coming up the inside. I can't remember who it was to try and nail him for 4th, but he fought on and ran a courageous race to be 3rd. I think he's going to get a way better trip this time. I'm going to go 4. I'm going to flip-flop on Briardy County to defeat After Court, and I put the 3-horse Timber Topper shortening up. He's got some good races that are good enough. I think he can make his presence felt as well. But I went 4, 1, and 3 in the 3rd. On to the 4th race, $4,000 fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th. I ended up on the 6 Maury's Glory. You liked him last time. He ran her last time. Ran a really good race.
13-1 last time.
Yes, nice neck victory over Haida Gui. And
well, I liked her because you liked her in the championship race before that. And then she dropped into a soft spot and you
left town.
Bailed on her.
I left town. Maury's Glory, if she can avoid a pace tool with Rachel Run, is going to be very dangerous. Put the 1 Haida Gui, they were all a nose apart last time. And I put the 2 Bubbly on Ice, who's a better horse going long. Sprinted last time. Not her best distance. I know it was against easier horses, but she's a better distance horse. She showed that 2 starts back. I know it was just a non-2, but she won by about a half a dozen lengths. And she's a better horse at this trip, and she might get a decent pace to run at. I went 6, 1, 2.
I got basically the same horses. I went 6. I went Maury's Glory on top. I think she's a horse to beat in here. Haida Gui, you have to respect. Just got beat ahead by Maury's Glory last time, and she's a solid old mare. At this level, she's always tough. And I couldn't decide between Bubbly on Ice. You can see I had Bubbly on Ice. I threw her out. I put Rachel Run, who I thought after a couple very subpar efforts, woke up last time and ran a really good race, and she's got it in her. You know, she is a win machine. 7 to 16 lifetime in the winner's circle. I put her in the 3rd spot. I went 6, 1, and 7 in the 4th. On to the 5th, 3-year-olds and up, maiden 4,000, going 6.5 furlongs. I landed on the 2 here. Can't Catch the Rabbit. He was big odds 25 to 1 last time.
Yeah.
Just got beat a half length by New Jersey Joe. And when I look at these races, you have, Two Penny, but Two Penny got beat by Famous Winner. I think Can't Catch the Rabbit faced a tougher horse in New Jersey Joe, so that's why I landed on Can't Catch the Rabbit over Two Penny, who has 2 seconds since arriving here at Hastings. And in the 3rd spot, I went to the 8, Jackson. He's been knocking on the door. A couple of 4ths in his lace, but he wasn't beat far, just a length and a quarter and a length and a half, so he's well within his realm, and Richard Hamill sticks with him. 2, 3, and 8 for me. Yeah,
I have the same 3 horses. Not crazy about taking the 2 Can't Catch the Rabbit when you had 25 to 1 on them last time. You're going to get 2 to 1 on them this time. That's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but I think you need all 3 of them in any multi-leg wagers. I put 2 on top of 8. Jackson, who had a kind of a tough wide trip last time, but still had every shot to win. And 2 Penny, I think Two Penny will appreciate a cut back in distance to 6.5. No excuse last time. This horse had an easy lead. Should have won. Got outrun by Famous Winner, who's not a greatest horse, but I just think it was the distance. 2 Penny will be better going short. 2, 8, and 3 for me in race number 5. On to the 6th race, $4,000 non-winners at 2 fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs. Got a big old gate full of 10 of them. I ended up on the 5, Rocky Princess. She comes out of, I think, the best race, running 2nd behind 4 Feathers in a very good time. She has been off for a little while, but has worked well in a minute and change. So I think she's still on her game. Put the 3-horse Charming Silver. She's another one that's going to be a short price. Didn't get beat far last time, but had every opportunity to win. Sat off of a slow pace. Couldn't close the deal. Today is the day. Came up the inside to beat her. And also couldn't get by a Remarkable Lady, which really bothered me. And Eau Claire de Lune. And I put the 1-horse Rio Hana in for 3rd. I know she's not the greatest sprinter in the world, but her race 2 back, when she was setting on a really dead track, she set 24, 47, 113. I thought those were pretty good fractions. And then she drew away in the stretch when confronted by Rosalie B. So I just think she's one that can sprint and doesn't really show on form, though. I went 5, 3, and 1. Iraqi Princess is definitely your horse.
Yeah, I agree. I got Iraqi Princess on top. I got the same horse. I put Rio Hana in the 2nd spot, though.
Yeah, I can see.
Got beat by her stablemate last time. It was going long, but she got beat by her stablemate, cute little vixen. who was very well meant in there. Everybody liked.
But they weren't going to chase each other. You know, once they got the 1-2, she's going to sit off a cute little vixen.
She sat off her but did a very good job holding off Base Gal. It was definitely second. She was second by a comfortable margin. Definitely fits in here, and I put Charming Silver in the third spot. Comes out of that Today is the Day Eau Claire de Lune race. I like Rio Honda better than Charming Silver, so I went 5, 1, and 3 in the 6th. On to the 7th, the Harbor View for horses who have not won a stake.
Yeah, surprised this race only drew 6 horses.
Yeah, I know.
Because it had like 15 nominations, and you got 1 mare in here.
And you got Lockett's in here.
And only 5 Colts and Geldings showed up. I just kind of thought it was a little light.
I went to the 1 Wilo Cat. I think there's going to be enough pace in here. Don't Mess with Kitten didn't break last time, but if he breaks, he's going to go. Del Rio Harbor's a speed horse, and those are, I think, are the other 2 tough horses. And I think it sets up well for Wilo Cat. You know, that race back to Devil in Disguise where he ran 2nd, I think that race is good enough to be tough in here. Only got beat 4 lengths in the Randall behind Square Dancer and Don't Mess with Kitten. I think it sets up for him today. Silviano Morales rides for Jon Snow, Wayne Oliver, Bill Randall, Lee Renty, and Cowboys and Indian Stable. Wilo Cat for me on top. I put Del Rio Harbor, the Emerald Invader, in 2nd spot. He's a pretty tough old horse. 7 wins, almost $250,000 in earnings. Pedro Alvarado rides him. He has to be respected in here. And I put Don't Mess with Kitten. The last race was very discouraging for Don't Mess with Kitten after a great effort the time before in the SW Randall, where he just got beat a nose by Square Dancer.
He was all over the track.
Didn't break last time, and just...
He was 4 wide the whole race almost.
Yeah,
it was like crazy.
He just kind of lost all shot at the beginning where he didn't break, and then he doesn't want to go that far, and just a mess for him. But if he runs that race 2 back, he'll be a handful in here. I went 1, 6, and 3.
Yeah, I went to the 6 horse Del Rio Harbor. I think he's definitely going to get the lead. Yeah. He's the fastest. He's fast. Like, Don't Mess with Kitten, even on his best day, isn't fast enough to go with Del Rio Harbor, who has sprint speed. 2 starts back, was carving out some salty little fractions in the Chinook Pass. But on the stretch out, this horse, I think this horse is really live.
And the one time, I should mention, the one time he did run here in Hastings, led the whole way and ended up 3rd behind Alert Bay and Coffee Grinder in the BC Derby last year. Yeah.
He can road. Yeah. I know they've kept him primarily sprinting. He was in the mile this year, and he got a small paycheck. Ran 5th behind Striker PhD and Sammy Manderville and Alert Bay, and that's a tough Longacres mile this year. Yeah. And I thought he ran well. He's had 3 races since the mile. Had a nice win in an allowance race. Then he's been sprinting in his last 2, and he just is hooked into Scat Daddy Baby and some really fast horses that hasn't been able to get the lead. I think he gets the lead in here, controls things, and Pedro's very good at controlling the head end. I just think Del Rio Harbor's your horse to beat. I think you get the mare Lockett a shot. Yeah. She ran into a very good Touching Promise in her last 3 starts, actually. Especially last time. Touching Promise was almost unbeatable. That was a really fast time on a sloppy track. But Lockett's an unlucky type that she's a nice race mare, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her beat some of these off-form or in-and-out form boys like El Capone, Wilo Cat, Remember to Breathe, and Don't Mess with Kitten. They're not the most reliable 4 horses. I mean, she's reliable. She's going to run. She's going to run a race. And
11 seconds lifetime.
I know, that's the one negative. But I put her in for 2nd to make it 12 maybe. And Don't Mess with Kitten, of course, for 3rd. I went 6, 5, and 3. In the Harbor View, on to the 8th race, $4,000 non-winners at 2. Colts and Geldings here going 6 1/2 furlongs. I ended up on the 4 horse PS Betting on You, a big class drop for him. 16, they paid $8,000 for him, ran him for 16 a couple times. Now he surfaces for 4. Not a pile of speed in here. I think he can get the lead with Pedro. He's very good, as I mentioned, getting horses out of the gate. PS Betting on You over Too Much Johnson, who had a tough trip last time. He was 3 and 4 wide the whole race. Still managed to fight on and got beat late by Goliath, but I thought it was a courageous effort. I know the fractions weren't fast, but he took the worst of it and was on the widest part of the track. He was out wide the whole race. And I put the 7 horse Paz Believin', who was absolutely taken out of the race. There was an inquiry. This horse, Keyshawn Balgolman, lost an iron at the quarter pole. He come right out of the saddle. I believe it was Mario's Wind on the inside, come off the rail. There was no change, but he did come off the rail. He checked.
Got him a little bit. Yeah.
Anyway, he was taken right out of the race. The rider couldn't even ride the horse, so give him another look. He wasn't. I like him as much as I like Too Much Johnson out of that same Goliath race. So, and he'll be a bigger price. And a good rider change there to Amadeo as well. But PS Betting on You on the class drop's got to be tough. 4, 5, 7.
Absolutely, I agree. PS Betting on You looks tough in here. I put Too Much Johnson in the 2nd spot, same as you, for the reasons you mentioned. The only difference is I put New Jersey Joe, was knocking on the door, finally broke his maiden. pretty impressively last time as he was very wide, made a kind of
an early half-mile drive.
Extended, long move, and still prevailed. And he's a horse with, a lightly raced horse with some upside. So I put him in the 3rd spot. David Lopez rides for Mike Anderson. 4, 5, and 3 for me. In the 8th. On to the 9th.
The finale.
The finale of the year. Last race of the year at Hastings Park. This is a $8,000 claimant event for 3-year-olds and up. Wide open, going a mile and a 16th. And I went to the 8, the old horse who hasn't had quite the year that he had last year. Bear Rock and Roll drops in for $8,000, the lowest price of his career. Got the lead last time, got passed by Irish Romeo and Mark, but this is a softer bunch. He has to be respected in here. I got him in the top spot. I will put What Goes Around in the 2nd spot. Just a horse I think that's going in the right direction. He won the endurance race last time. He loves to go long, beating Franzer's Finest and at the Ritz last time. And just kind of the now horse. I feel like the race 2 back, when he went a mile and 3/8, he wasn't really ready for it. You know, he'd had some time off, came back into a long race and a mile and 3/8, then to a mile and a half. He still won. Now he gets back to a mile and 16th, where I think he's really comfortable. Got him in the 2nd spot, and I put At the Ritz. What a season he's had. 4 wins for At the Ritz. I don't want to throw him out. I put him in the 3rd spot. 8, 3, and 1 for me.
Yeah. I agree with the 8 Bear Rock and Roll. I don't trust the horse, but I mean,
he's not the
I
same. He hasn't had the same.
7-time winner last year. He's a 1-time winner this year. He's, you know, had a nice trip last time behind Distillery and Uncle Willard.
Yeah,
and Uncle Willard bolted.
His stablemate took everybody out.
Got every shot to win from the quarter pole home, and he really lost ground late. And Mark beat him by 3 lengths for second, and but 8,000, I gotta put him on top. I agree. I'm going to put the 7 Casino Boss in the mix, though.
I know he
disappointed. He run back pretty quickly in his last 2. He had 2 races in 7 days, but he has some back class. You know, he's a nice little horse.
Yeah.
And I agree. What Goes Around's got to be thrown in the mix. I know he's got some problems, but still he managed to win at 24-1 last time with a great ride by Pedro Alvarado.
And a great pick by you.
Yeah, I know, I got that one. But Francis Finest was best that day. He was. But just I got the right trip and got lucky and got.
Well, nice I can tell you one thing: if Francis Finest had won that day, the pick 6 would have paid a lot less.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, that's right too. It paid 10,000 with it, but would have paid about
2,000.
2,000 without. That'll do it for analysis of the final live card at Hastings. Up next on screen will be a quick recap of our selections, or as quick as we can do 9 races. Anyway, back in race number 1, I went to the 2, Francer's Finest. I think he is in a good spot, 2, 3, and 1. Race number 2, went to the 3, Contact Man, over the 6, Swiss Arrogant. 3, 6, 7 for me in the 2nd. The 3rd race, the 4, Briardick County, 4, 1, 3. 4th race, number 6, Maury's Glory. Very tough race, though. A lot of them, they all finished at the wire last time. 3 of them were right on the line. Haida Gwaii, Bubbly on Ice for 3rd for me. 5th race, number 2, Kent Catch the Rabbit. Been caught lots throughout his career, but maybe not today. 2, 8, and 3. The 6th race to kick off the final, pick 4. Went to the 5, Ariki Princess, 5, 3, 1. 7th race, the Harbor View. Went to the 6, Del Rio Harbor, over the 5, Locket, the 3, Don't Mess with Kitten. And the 8th, I went to the 4, Big Clash Drop for PS Betting on You, 4, 5, and 7. And in the 9th and final, I went to the Classy Veteran. Be great to see him close out the season with a win. The 10-year-old Bear, Rock, and Roll, 8, 7, and 3 in the 9th.
On to my picks in the 1st. I went with the 3, Proxyman over the 1 and the 2. In the 2nd, I'm hoping for speed early. I went for the 6, Swiss Arrogant over the 3 and the 4. In the 3rd, I went to the 1, After Court over the 4 and the 2. In the 4th, I went to the 6, Maury's Glory over the 1 and the 7. In the 5th, I took the 2, Can't Catch the Rabbit over the 3 and the 8. In the 6th, number 5, Ariki Princess over the 1 and the 3. In the 7th, the Harbor View, I went to the 1, Wilo Cat over the 6, Del Rio Harbor, and the 3, Don't Mess with Kitten. In the 8th, I went to the 4, PS Betting on You over the 5 and the 3. And in the nightcap, I'm with Mike and the classy old 10-year-old, number 8, Bear Rock and Roll over the 3 and the 1.
All right, that'll do it for the final edition of Handicappers Corner for Hastings Racecourse. As you heard Drew mention off the top of the show, we will be doing a Breeders' Cup edition. Not sure what day it'll be out, Wednesday or Thursday, but as soon as we get, we'll shoot for Thursday because we got the Friday, Saturday races, but we'll get it out to you as soon as we can. But yeah, we'll go through all the Breeders' Cup races at Keeneland. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of interest, of course. Mario Gutierrez will be there.
He's right now, as far as I know, Mario's got 3. He's got one in the filly and mare sprint. He's got one in the juvenile fillies and one in the juvenile boys.
Okay, that'll be a lot of fun. But once
and he's been on a heater.
He's been rolling lately. Wow. Hopefully that'll continue on to Keeneland and some very big wins. Hopefully next weekend for Mario. But that'll do it for.
Before you go, speaking of the Breeders' Cup, we
Yep.
still do have a little bit
Seats.
of room here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
Lots of room Friday.
Lots of room Friday. Saturday, there's a few tables left.
Right.
604-536-2978. Ask for myself or Emily. We'll get you in here
Get you
for a
hooked
big
up.
Breeders' Cup day.
Okay, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Good luck on the weekend. We'll see you next time. We'll see you for the Breeders' Cup edition here at the Derby Bar and Grill.